What is going on? It is episode 445 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm one of your hosts, Crawler, coming at you. I messed that kind of up. So, Nightcrawler724, Crawler coming at you. Johnny, how's it going?
I am trying to get my NFTs.
Yep, Johnny's
still broke.
Johnny's obsessed with claiming all of the emblem creators, and probably still has the same emblem from however long ago, right?
Well, no, I'm using a Mario Wonder one right now. I'll probably make a Mario RPG one.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Johnny's slumming it, playing Fire Emblem Heroes, getting 100 points at a time. But we also got Cheesy. Cheesy, how's it going?
What's going on, cheese curds? I think for me, like I've always have just used the same emblem, the same profile picture because
you're lame.
No, but I think that there's so many people. It's cool that they're able to do that they have the option. But then once they change, I'm like, do I know you? I don't know if I know you because they might not be using their username or their real name. Whatever. I just keep it simple so people know who I am, Johnny.
Yeah, I have my normal one. I think I made one with I think a Xenoblade one, but then I got the emblem for going to Nintendo Live. So I think that's the one I have right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I am jealous of that. I saw Josh has that one too. How did you get it?
I think that was it was a QR check-in, I think. And I was surprised we got to do this, like the acrylic, like stand-up Mario Wonder stuff was a My Nintendo check-in at a desk at Nintendo Live. We didn't think we'd be eligible for it since we kind of sweet talked our way into the whole thing and we didn't have the invite. But all they wanted was just you went into your My Nintendo on the website or whatever and just pulled up this QR code and they scanned it and they gave it to us. So
nice.
It was there and available. So it was good. But I think with that check-in, I think is what prompted us to get sent that emblem, because I randomly, like a couple weeks after Nintendo Live, we got an email saying, "Hey, you have a new emblem," and it was just there. So
that's really cool. I definitely would be like using that one all the time.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to change it. So I think you have the best one.
I'm happy with it for right now. So yeah, I wish
I did want to say if people are lucky enough to have me as a friend on their Nintendo Switch, they would know who I am no matter what.
Because he's playing Calculator, probably.
Yeah, I'm probably playing Calculator or Vampire Survivors.
True.
One of the two.
There it is.
Have you gotten out of the way? Have you gotten a watermelon yet? You did get a watermelon. Okay. What's your high score? I think I'm at like 32 or 36.
I think I got 2,600 or so.
Okay.
I don't play that. I honestly don't play that much. Once I got the watermelon, all of the hype for that game just died.
No, you got to try and get two.
Hopefully,
now.
we get a Christmas theme here in a little bit or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we had, what was it? Was it Tuesday this week?
It was Monday.
Monday. Keeley had the Game Awards nominees come out. I'll get it up on the screen here. Let's see here.
Just a big list of ads.
You're gonna see all my votes here as we're going through, but
see, have you voted, Johnny?
No, I've not voted yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, but I mean, I think this is going to be the bulk of our discussion this week. But was there a graphic that showed?
Are you looking?
I definitely saw it.
Was that on Twitter? Was that on?
Yeah, it was definitely on. I found it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It was 15 nominations for Nintendo, which is the most of any publisher there.
You could probably just like pull up the YouTube video if you want to do that, Crawler.
Unless Keeley strikes it down.
Maybe. Even if we don't have sound, that can happen.
I don't know, probably.
Nomination announcement, this one.
Here we go.
I didn't even watch this. I just saw the nominations come out.
Well, for those that are listening, we've got Old Spice, big nomination this year for the Game Awards.
And there
Hey,
who's nominated for.
There's
for content
Cypher.
creator.
He's nominated for Content Creator of the Year. How long was this? Okay, it was only 10 minutes.
10
I
minutes.
thought it was going to be like 3 hours.
Like as long as the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Last year was pretty good. Like I think the pace of it was good. So if they've learned anything of like how to keep the show not going too long, and it's the 10th year that they're doing, I'm sure that they've learned a lot.
I'll say they kind of went out of order with how they have. But best performance, we had a few different things. We had Cameron from Jedi Survivor. We had Idris Elba from Cyberpunk. Alan Wake 2 actors. Baldur's Gate.
Ben Starr from Final
Yuri
Fantasy.
for Spider-Man 2. I think he's Spider-Man, right? Or he's Peter
he's
Parker.
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He's Peter Parker.
Oh, these are coming quick.
They are going fast.
We can pause it.
Yeah, we can. So do we want to talk about performance? That I don't think there was any.
There's no
Nintendo in that one.
I would think the guy from Baldur's Gate's probably gonna win.
Yeah, I think I voted for Cameron for Jedi Survivor, but because I think he does mocap and everything for that as well. I think a lot of these probably were mocap performances, some mocap performances at least too.
Mm-hmm.
But best ongoing, we have Apex, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 16, Fortnite, Genshin.
So
again, no Nintendo.
Yeah, but I'll say
Fortnite's on Nintendo.
True, but I do think, like, since this is a Nintendo podcast, I kind of wish that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe would have been nominated for ongoing. Like, I get that it's not.
Well, especially with that, the DLC ended, like, came to a finale just recently.
Yeah, it's a 10-year-old game at this point. Well, from just Mario Kart 8 on Wii U, but that it's pretty incredible as how far we've come and how big that game is.
With what 57? What we did financials last week, 57 million copies, right?
Yeah,
that's a lot.
I don't know.
Has it ever been nominated for best ongoing? Do we know?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. There's no way to find out.
No,
there's no way to know.
Best multiplayer, we have
no Splatoon this year.
Baldur's Gate, Diablo, Party Animals, Street Fighter, Mario Wonder. That's I think that's the end of that category.
I was surprised when I saw that. Yeah,
are they just grasping at something there? Like, because the standees. I mean, are they solely relying on local multiplayer for that to be an experience, or?
If it's local, I will shoot that down and say that it's not a good multiplayer experience.
Online's not a good multi either. I mean,
I think it's better.
What, with the racing? Can you do racing locally? Or is it only online?
No, it's only online.
That's weird.
Yeah, this one was kind of weird. I feel like they threw it in there because they couldn't think of another multiplayer game. Even though, like, Mortal Kombat 1 was right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Street Fighter got nominated. I don't know. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. When I think of Mario, I don't think of multiplayer.
I guess this year was kind of a lot of single player experiences that were the big releases. Survivor, Baldur's Gate, you can play solo or together. I think
that's nominated for best multiplayer.
It is, and I think that'll probably win. Everything else is kind of ongoing games with like Fortnite and Apex and other stuff. I mean,
I think Baldur's Gate's
Spider-Man. I mean, there isn't a whole lot of premier multiplayer, but like, yeah, like why isn't Mortal Kombat in there versus? I mean, and I understand Street Fighter, but like,
why not F-Zero 99?
Oh yeah,
that would have been a better option.
Yep.
If they wanted to include Nintendo, for sure. Next, we have art direction with Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Mario Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. So we got two Nintendo properties in that one. I mean, everything I think in that category is deserving.
Yeah.
So is this just not hyper realistic?
I mean, Alan Wake is
Graphics,
super
like,
hyper
that's pretty. That's
realistic. I
true.
mean,
That's
Hi-Fi
true, but
Rush
you
has. I mean, I think Liza P is probably the weakest of the in the category, but even still, like, it's a good looking game. But I think I voted for Wonder on that one just because of all of the stuff that happens with the Wonder Flowers. I feel like is just a unique, different things that they kind of did with all.
I don't like when they have two Nintendo games in one category because it splits the votes.
Yeah, it can do that.
All right, so like Tears of the Kingdom, it's a beautiful game, but did it really change that much from Breath of the Wild? Like, is it still best art direction when you are already expecting what you saw before? Like Mario Wonder, I think, is a different example because it is different than what we've had.
But they added the sky. They added depths.
Yeah.
They added,
but I feel like Breath of the Wild definitely brought about a art style that has been copied a little bit now by a handful of different games, and we were expecting more of the same, like you said, Johnny. And I don't think it did anything crazy or groundbreaking to kind of elevate it to be the winner of that category. But I mean, I could see it going to any of those art direction categories and nominees in that category. Next we have score and music with Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate. They're slowing down a little bit now. Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush. That might win for sound because it's kind of, isn't it based on music a little bit?
Rhythm. It's a rhythm.
And then Legends of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom had really good music baked into it. I mean, I could see it coming down between Tears of the Kingdom and I don't know if Hi-Fi Rush is going to get enough, but like because the game was based on sound, I could see it taking that category. But I don't know.
Yeah, and like Zelda is obviously the bigger IP, but when I think of that trailer, I hear the music, and it's so iconic and it really sticks with you. It was one of those just magical moments just from the trailer alone. And then you play the game.
And then out in the world, they pull in themes from classic Zelda games and stuff and remix them a little bit. And yeah.
For sure. I would love to see Hi-Fi Rush get some love because that was February or March?
Yeah, March, I think. And they're pretty much leading the charge for Xbox Game Studios, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a whole lot to lean on this year.
What were you saying, Johnny?
I think whatever category has Baldur's Gate in it it's just gonna win.
I don't think so. I mean, we were saying that last year with like Elden Ring, and that didn't happen. They really, honestly, Elden Ring didn't win a lot, and then it won Game of the Year.
Well, the 1 year, I think Red Dead Redemption won like every category it was in, but lost Game of the Year.
That was God of War.
I think it was God of War. Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption put me to sleep playing that game.
So did Spider-Man, but that's a different story.
I loved Red Dead Redemption 1, but like 2, the pacing, I don't get the praise for that game. It was not paced well. It put me to sleep. Next we have audio design. Alan Wake 2 is just in there all the time. Dead Space, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4. I mean, Resident Evil 4 has got a lot of gross sounds happening in and around there. Probably Dead Space too a little bit. I haven't played the remake. I think Dead Space, I think that might be up on Game Pass. I might need to play the remake. But yeah,
if there was a Nintendo game that could have been nominated for best audio, what would it have been?
Pikmin, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they do a good job like muffling the sound when you're underwater, and I mean the audio design in that game I think is pretty good.
Yeah,
and there's some ambient like echoey noise when you're down in the caves.
That's right. Yeah.
I feel like that could have gotten the Nintendo nomination, but Jeff's going to talk a little bit here. It looks like
he's probably I don't even know what he's saying, but he's probably talking about how we're moving into an era where video games transcend just video games.
So next is best adaptation, and we have Castlevania. Was that? Oh, this is like television stuff. Is that the Netflix?
Yeah.
Is that season 2 or whatever?
Yeah.
And then we have Gran Turismo, the movie, The Last of Us show, Mario Brothers movie, and I think and Twisted Metal. I think as well as I think you tweeted about this, Cheesy. I think as well as the Mario movie was received and fan serviced, it's not a great adaptation. And I think how most of us were thinking is that The Last of Us is going to kind of run away with this, and that's how I voted. I think was for Last of Us.
Yeah, I can see Twisted Metal. People love that show, even though I thought it was terrible. But people
I mean, the one that I'm kind of surprised didn't make the list, even if it wasn't that great, and maybe for fans it was. Five Nights at Freddy's it's kind of surprising that it's not here for how big that game is.
That might not have made Jeff's cutoff.
But it came out in October.
Was it in October? It
was October.
Yeah. No, then I think. Well, I don't know.
That's a good point, though. So
I don't know
it was definitely in October.
Yeah, but the cutoff itself, it could be.
Mario Wonder came out. No, Mario Wonder came out October 20th.
I don't like the Game Awards happen before the end of the year, and it.
Did anything get nominated that came out at the end of last year? I don't think so.
The biggest gripe I have is going back 3 years, where the best game to come out in 2019 was Jedi Survivor or Fallen Order. And it came out December or end of November maybe that year, and it missed Jeff's cutoff, and it was, I feel like, the best game that year. I think Control won for some, and I forget what else. I think IGN gave it to Control, and I don't know what Keighley gave it to, but
we've had this happen before. 2018 with Smash Ultimate didn't make the cutoff, so then it got nominations the next year, which is like, I don't know. I think you can kind of throw your award show a little bit by doing that, because there might have been games that came out that next year that deserve it, but then you have Smash Ultimate, which is probably going to take the win in whatever category it's in.
And I think that did win. Did they have best fighting game that year, next year?
So.
Or family game? I don't know if it won family game or not, but yeah, I mean, so yeah. But
and most of these awards get shown during the pre-show. So
because Jeff fills the space with world premieres and other stuff to get people to tune in. So
you're probably gonna miss it anyway.
Next we have best narrative: Alan Wake 2 again, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk, the Phantom Liberty expansion, Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2. I think Baldur's Gate is just easily gonna run away with narrative. I mean,
probably.
Easily.
I think we should go back.
And I haven't even played it, so
we should go back to the adaptions, because I don't know if we really said which one is going to win. I think so. I think I made a TikTok talking about Mario and Last of Us. Like, I think Mario is really good, but when you look at The Last of Us and what they have accomplished with it,
they just made the game.
Sure. But like,
But
they
expanded upon it though.
That's an adaptation.
Yeah.
If they adapted, they just literally put the game into a show. So if that's an adaptation, then that works. I mean, they did add Bill's story, but that's it.
Which made the season, I think, for at least for me. I thought that episode was done so well.
Great episode.
Last of Us is gonna win, but I just don't think it's the best.
Well, so what would you say, Mario?
I would. What were the other ones?
Castlevania,
Gran Turismo, Twisted Metal,
Last of Us, and Mario.
I'm gonna go Mario.
I haven't seen Gran Turismo yet.
Yeah, I haven't
Mario made over $1 billion. It deserves awards.
It does.
It's not the best script, right? But like just the nostalgia behind it and all the sounds and
the only reason that it loses is because of the dog scene.
From Illumination being Illumination and just putting that
scene.
Yep. All right. So next we have Games for Impact. A Space for the Unbound.
I've heard good things.
Whoa, this is going quick. Chance. I can't even.
Yeah, I don't know what that
I can't even read
Chance
that.
Of something.
Sinar?
Sinar, yeah.
Something like that.
I couldn't tell you. Is that thing right there part of the word? I would think it'd have to be because 2 N's and 2 A's and an R isn't a word.
Chance of Nar.
I don't know. Goodbye Volcano High.
Chia.
Is that how you say that? Chia?
Yeah,
is the T
Chia.
silent?
Yeah.
Terra Nil and Venba.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
know any of those games, but I do think that category is important.
Well, yeah, usually there's some kind of story and meaning behind kind of the.
It's fascinating that Johnny finds it important because it deals with story.
Yeah, but not like lame story, like Final Fantasy, like story that actually matters.
We don't think Peter Miles' story was for Impact, though.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
You're only what 2 hours? 2 hours into that game?
It's so boring. I don't understand why people like that game. It's so boring.
I platinumed it this week, so
I don't know.
It wasn't hard to platinum, but
like you have to like walk around a foundation to try to get a job. Yeah,
so you're a couple hours in, then at least a little bit.
That's super exciting.
You had to ride bikes over there to go get that.
Yeah, well, there's that one. Yeah, that whole sequence with like, stop putting these stupid like regular Peter sequences in. Nobody wants to play as regular Peter.
Johnny's getting upset.
I just think that game is severely overrated.
Next we have best independent game, Cocoon, Dave the Diver. Well, this is gonna get cheesy going here in a little bit. We got Dredge, Sea of Stars,
Viewfinder.
Oh, okay. That's just really awkward. That doesn't look like letters right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, but Viewfinder. I see the F now. But Cheesy, go, because I know you got thoughts on Dave the Diver and.
I mean, Dave the Diver is
Cryptic's right here on time for that.
Yep. What's going on, Cryptic? Dave the Diver looks like a really fun game. It looks cozy and it's pixelated, but it is not an independent game. It is made by a smaller team that has a subsidiary of $1 billion company. So that should not be considered an independent game. I think it is odd that they put it there. It takes away another opportunity for smaller devs.
So does that fit in the category the same way that what's the EA program? EA what EA has like that program for independent devs where they publish it or whatever. Is it the same kind of thing for Dave the Diver, or is it pretty much just straight a EA
it's
original?
Nexon. Nexon is the subsidiary.
Okay, so it's not like they're just on the payroll. They're not independent going through this for publishing.
Yeah,
the vice president of Nexon even said it may look like an indie, but it's not necessarily so.
Well, and that was, I think, was that I just watched your guys' episode this afternoon. I think you guys were talking about that this last week. Indies don't need to look like indies to be considered an indie. Like,
and we're reaching some really interesting territory, slippery slopes with, gamers deciding what looks like an indie game. That's not how that works.
Yeah. Guess what? Rockstar is an indie game. Is an independent game maker.
No, they're owned by 2K. They're owned by 2K.
Are they two?
Yeah.
One of the big ones is independent.
But I don't know if I would call Rockstar a independent company.
The class of
who makes The Witcher? It's whoever makes The Witcher.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red is independent.
CD Projekt Red, yeah.
But they're like big AAA with board of directors and all that kind of,
it's not gonna win, so stop getting.
I'm not, but you have to agree. Rustled. No, but you have to agree that it does take an opportunity away.
No, I think Sea of Stars will win this. I do like Dredge.
Have you played more of it?
I played a little. I played like 3 or 4 hours of it.
I think Viewfinder is very fascinating.
Is that the camera game?
Yeah, and then you take like pictures, and then you can like take those Polaroids into your world and kind of move around that way.
We had an Indie World Direct this week. We didn't even talk about.
Oh, that was the other thing.
That was the other thing we were talking about.
We could talk about it still.
Yeah. Braid has come to the Switch. Yes.
In indie games sparked that in my mind. I was like, we had something this week.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I guess that came out. When was the Indie Direct? The next day, right?
Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway,
Johnny's favorite category was do we think what? Cocoon or
I think Sea of Stars.
Yeah, I think
Sea of Stars?
I think Johnny's right on that one.
Okay. Dredge is on Game Pass, right? I think I need to check that one out. But
probably. I don't know. I should probably check what's on Game Pass.
Instead of Johnny's on Switch category, mobile games. He's been playing a lot lately, so let's see what we got here. Final Fantasy Ever Crisis.
Honkai. It's Honkai Star Rail.
Star Rail.
I think that's from the
Hello
makers
Kitty
of
Island Adventure. There we go.
That's what I'm choosing.
Is that in line with Hello Kitty Racer? A little bit, maybe. Monster Hunter now.
Monster Hunter.
So I think this is going to win. I think this is what I voted for. Josh has been raving about this. I think it's Niantic, I think, right? It's the same.
Oh, is it?
I believe so. It's based on the same Niantic tech that they got for geolocation and all that kind of stuff. And Josh has been enjoying that. I think even playing side by side with his son, they can go on hunts and do stuff. I think so. I haven't checked it out, but I know Josh has been raving about it. So I think with the Monster Hunter name next to it, I mean, you got some big properties in here with Final Fantasy and Monster Hunter. So you never know. But mobile gaming is its own kind of crazy.
I will say, world. I just thought of it. Hello Kitty is the second biggest IP.
True. Don't they have airlines tied to Hello Kitty?
Yeah, it's Pokemon and Hello Kitty.
Yep.
1 and 2. So there's probably a good chance that Hello Kitty could win.
I don't know how well. I don't know how the games journalists are going to vote for that, but
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
you never know. Oh, and Terra Nil. I I don't know.
No idea what that is.
Johnny, what's Keely saying here?
Do you want me to turn on closed captioning?
Best community support.
Best community support. So we have Baldur's Gate, Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk's like, whoops, we screwed up.
Destiny 2 Lightfall, which that will definitely not win with the way the community's feeling about Destiny right now, I think. Edgewalker, Final Fantasy, was that what, 14?
14,
right?
it's 14. Yeah.
And then No Man's Sky. Is No Man's Sky been nominated like for that
it's like
every year for the last like 3 years, right?
You can't be allowing these companies to release garbage products and then like
awarding
praising
them later. Yeah.
For fixing what it should be already. Like Baldur's Gate's gonna win. There's no doubt.
But how and why? Why? What have they done to support the community?
They released
on a game that just came out. Like Cyberpunk, I think Cyberpunk's 2.0 launch is probably going to elevate them to win because how broken their game was, and then they fixed it. But like Johnny said, companies should not get rewarded for fixing their broken game.
Yeah,
No Man's Sky has gotten a lot of updates, but
the next game that's going to be nominated next year for best community support will be Starfield.
They didn't fix anything yet.
Not yet.
Encryptic had a good thing. Like the community support that we got in this last update for Mario Kart, like that was a lot of quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
And just how well it's been received with the new courses. I mean, I feel like they missed the mark on two opportunities they probably could have had Mario Kart nominated.
And not only for the last wave, but also just all of the waves that came out through the booster course pass and how they've been able to change them each time and like go back to previous tracks where they're like, yeah, sorry, we messed up. Let's make it better. So, they messed up there.
Did I go back?
This is indie debut game. So it's the company's first game. Okay. I don't know.
Seems like it's probably going to be a lot of repeats maybe, but here. So Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower. I've heard good things about Pizza Tower. I need to check it out. Viewfinder, I missed one in the middle there. What was
Venba.
Venba. Yeah. I mean, I've heard good things about Pizza Tower. I don't even know where that's playable.
It's probably Steam. Oh man, there's some rough categories here. Best VR game.
Yeah, that's what we're getting into next here.
Where's Labo at?
So let's see. Gran Turismo, so you can be in the cockpit. Humanity's an interesting game. I haven't tried it. And then Call of the Mountain, Village, and Synapse. Some of those, I feel like they run through the categories really quick in this.
The ones that they know people don't really care about.
I mean, Call of the Mountain is the only one that I think that's like the pure VR, like made for VR kind of thing. Humanity you can play without VR. Call of the Mountain you cannot. Gran Turismo you can. Village you can't. Or Village you can. I don't know about Synapse, but like I feel like Call of the Mountain probably would win that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any. I haven't played in VR.
Oh, we can. Yeah, content creator of the
year.
I
was not nominated for content creator of the year, and is there a write-in? Can you put a write-in vote?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we'll try to put me in.
So I know Cheesy's got strong opinions on this next category here with most anticipated. So we have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Outlaw. Have I missed something on Outlaw? What is Outlaws? This is the EA. Is this the EA one?
No, that's Ubisoft.
Oh, is it that close to being ready?
It's most anticipated.
Well, but
Elden Ring was on the most anticipated for like 4 years.
Okay, all right.
But there is a game that is missing.
Isn't Tekken 8 coming out like early next year? I played it at PAX. Like I played the game at PAX. Like I feel like that game is like probably out here pretty soon.
They gave up. They gave up on hope for Silk Song.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, like was that? Did that win last year?
Last year was Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. And the year before was Elden Ring. So
that's kind of just a hodgepodge category. It's like, hey, we know about this stuff. What are you excited about?
This is a game that we announced, last year, and it still won't come out for another 4.
Yeah. Where's Metroid Prime 4? Why isn't it on the list?
Because that has been announced for 5 years now at this point, right?
Hades. It's got to be Hades too.
I think it's between that and Final Fantasy, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's probably gonna be Final Fantasy.
I mean, Hades gets a wider,
wider range of support.
Action adventure. I think this should be Tears of the Kingdom, but
it's probably gonna be Spider-Man. It's gonna be the one thing that they give to Spider-Man.
So let's go back through because I missed reading them out as we go. Alan Wake 2 again, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, and Tears of the Kingdom. I want Jedi Survivor to win something. This might be a chance that they have to win, but is there anything after? No, there was nothing after Tears of the Kingdom. But I mean, Tears of the Kingdom, I think, has a strong chance to win that one.
So there's a best action adventure game, and then I think there's just a best adventure game, or there's
this is best role-playing game.
Well, this is RPG, but I think there's another category that's
fighting,
like
action.
Best action.
Action. Yep.
What's the difference?
If you have more elements in your game, then you can be action/adventure.
Baldur's Gate winning RPG easily.
But yeah, role-playing game. We got Baldur's Gate. We have Final Fantasy 16. Lies of P.
I'll vote for Lies of P.
Sea of Stars, Starfield.
They threw Starfield a bone.
Is that's the only nomination it got, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate. I think that's almost there. I feel like it's a lock in a lot of categories, but I feel like that one in particular is a guarantee. Next we have fighting games. Did we have a lot of fighting games this year besides? So we have got
Mortal Kombat
1,
Street Fighter 6,
All-Star Brawl 2 just came out. Yep.
Now the question is,
what was that? Pocket
Fighter.
Pocket Bravery.
No, I don't know what that is. The question is that the Mortal Kombat 1 Nintendo Switch version? Or is that the regular one?
What? Sorry, what was your question? I was reading Cryptic's comment.
I was saying, is that the Mortal Kombat Nintendo Switch version?
No, absolutely not. Cryptic has a question here that do we think that Final Fantasy 16 wins Best RPG since Baldur's Gate is most likely Game of the Year?
No way.
I don't even think that 16, it played okay. Like, I don't know how well it was received. I mean,
also,
I enjoyed what I played of it, but like I burned out on playing it anymore.
This is a Nintendo podcast. We will not have blasphemy about Tears of the Kingdom or even Mario Wonder not winning Game of the Year.
For sure.
In fact, they are both going to win.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tie.
It's going to be a Mean Girls reference. We're going to rip up the trophy and give it both.
Mean Girls is coming back, man. Mean Girls is coming back. There's a musical next year. There's a Walmart commercial.
They got the Walmart commercial going. Yep. Is the new movie, is it the musical version?
I think it's the musical. Yeah.
But there's no music in it.
But with everybody in it? Like,
well, Tina Fey's in it. I think she's writing it.
Well, we're going off on a tangent, but isn't Lindsay Lohan and everybody else?
No, you're thinking of the Walmart commercial.
But
the Walmart commercial brought them all back.
Is that only for that? They're not tied to the other project?
I don't think so.
I would think that they would like they make a cameo. Cameo. Yeah.
All right.
Mean Girls tangent over.
So best action game, we have Armored Core. Oh yeah, that came out this year.
That came out this year, yeah. I think this will win just because it's a From Software game, and they got to give From Software something.
Dead Island 2, Ghost Hunter 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Remnant 2. A lot of sequels in that category. But yeah, I mean, Armored Core was well received, but then it did fizzle out, I think, pretty quickly.
It came out at
a weird time. It came out in like June, right?
It was. I think it was like August.
Yeah, I think you're right. Right before.
I'm thinking Hi-Fi Rush will probably win that, actually.
Potentially. Innovation on accessibility.
We talked about this on the communication air and how Nintendo doesn't really.
Diablo 4, Forza, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter. I think I voted for Forza just because
I wish it would tell
they give you how they did it, like, because I know Forza like gives you the option to pretty much let the game drive itself, and you can turn everything selectively off that you want to control. So if you have limitations on what you can do with the controller, you can let the game do a certain amount of stuff, and you do just a small amount that you want to do.
But Johnny, I think you're right. Like last year, if I remember correctly, they did give examples of how those games were accessible. Because I think I remember seeing Grounded with the arachnophobia mode.
Yeah. Which is why I don't play that game. I don't like.
So you can turn on arachnophobia.
I don't know, but I don't want to fight a giant blob. But
I
don't want to
Nintendo games. That's all you do.
Giant ants and stuff. Like, I'm good with the multiple legs. I don't need that in my life.
Just like Cryptic says, here comes the Nintendo category, but I don't think they're gonna win it this year.
Ooh.
Is there a non-Nintendo game in this category?
There's a non-Nintendo game. Well, there's like 3 that I think will beat it. Not this one. Not Disney.
Island of Illusion.
Party Animals, I think, is gonna win that category.
Pikmin 4, Sonic, and Mario Wonder. I mean,
so
I feel like I voted for Mario Wonder. I don't remember.
I get confused when they call them family games, because when I love Pikmin 4. I think it, deserved more love for nominations.
You can't play it with your family.
No,
you can play against them and
it's because it looks like a little baby game.
Play Dandori, but
it looks like a little baby game. That's why.
I mean, if anything, like Island of Illusion is like baby's first Metroidvania, and I wish it had combat. It's all just avoidance of combat. I got bored playing it. It probably would be good to sit down and play with my 3 kids and myself, because even my littlest one could probably do okay with it.
Yeah.
But me playing it by myself, I played it like an hour or 2 just to see what it was about, and then I played it. They had it on display at Nintendo Live, and I got a pin for it and stuff. It's fun enough, but like it's definitely a kid's intro to Metroidvania games. But Party Animals, I mean, leads. It's the streamer pick in this.
It's
this category,
like the viral pick or whatever.
Do you, if anything, it's between Party Animals and Wonder. I think the Mario name carries the gravitas that I think is enough to carry the unofficial Nintendo category. But I mean, I don't know how much in the games media space Party Animals is out there, but I know it's in the streamer realm.
Maybe it isn't not much anymore. I feel like
because it was a Steam game, and then it's on Game Pass, and it's on a few different things. But yeah. So next we have sim and strategy game. So
this one has
Advance Wars that came out.
Cheesy's favorite game in here. Advance Wars,
Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage. This has got a lot of Nintendo in it too. Pikmin 4.
I think it's funny that they have Pikmin 4 in the family game, but then also in strategy game. Because
it's a strategy game.
I know, but you wouldn't think that would be like a family game.
Yeah, I don't know why it's in there because they needed to round out that category probably.
It's because they had the doggo. There's a doggo in there.
Yeah, I think I voted for Pikmin 4 in that one because it needs some love because Pikmin 4 was a fun game.
I mean, yeah, and like I don't know, Advance Wars is very strategy, but like Pikmin 4 is all about practicing the art of Dandori and organizing and I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a great game and people need to play it.
People need to buy it. There's 130 million Switches out there. At least 60 million players. More than 2.5 million should buy it.
But it's the best selling in the category. In the
yeah, but it needs more.
In the time that they've had Pikmin. Sports / racing game. Let's see what we got. We got it's not even called FIFA anymore. It's called FC 24. So that's
football club.
That's the soccer, yeah.
F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and the Crew Motorfest. I didn't even know that was a game that came out this year.
Probably Forza, right?
Forza, probably. I mean, I would think most likely.
Or maybe Football Club.
Maybe just because it's the most popular version of sports game that EA puts out.
Yeah.
Esports game, is this even worth looking at? We're going to forward through a lot of stuff. Probably Counter-Strike, Dota. It's the same stuff every year. League of Legends, Battleground, PUBG, and Valorant.
Wow. That's a very exciting.
And
I'm surprised Fortnite didn't get in there because, like,
they do lots of tournaments and have they had the World Cup in a while? I don't even know, but we're gonna jump forward through the esports stuff because I don't.
Oh man, I didn't get to vote for my favorite team.
So yeah, game direction. I think Wonder is my pick on this one just because of what went into that game. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate, Spider-Man 2, and Wonder.
Why do they even have this category? It's just the Game of the Year category.
Well, it's kind of like, it's kind of a precursor to Game of the Year a little bit. It's how well your game director put together their vision, I guess. But in turn, that leads a lot of times to a good Game of the Year that you want to vote for.
Sometimes. I mean, I'm thinking of like movies where they have the best director and then best picture. And sometimes the best director will win, and then it's a different best picture.
Yeah. But when you think about the stuff that went into Wonder and that they didn't want to repeat a lot of, I just keep going to the Wonderflower stuff and how well that was varied.
Yeah, and I think we're in a bubble. So like hearing how the developers work together and that there wasn't a time crunch, like that, I think alone deserves best game direction. I don't know about the other games. Maybe they also had that same mentality.
Yeah, but I feel like there's two other games that are strong contenders in this, with Baldur's Gate 3 having full like motion like interactive cutscenes that you see. I feel like that is a lot with the game director kind of putting that out there. But then you also have Tears of the Kingdom with what they were able to put together with the tri-level Hyrule that they had going. I mean, there's a lot. I think this is a category to be fought over a little bit and probably to have a lot of split votes.
What do you
Johnny,
think,
what do you
Johnny?
think?
I think Tears of the Kingdom will win this, but then we'll lose Game of the Year.
Ooh.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I could. Coming into this year, it was like, who's going to come in second place to Tears of the Kingdom? It was kind of a foregone thing, and then Baldur's Gate 3 kind of came out of left field. I don't even know if that was on a lot of people's radar before this year about what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like everybody has been talking about it all year. And I mean, I want Tears of the Kingdom to win everything it's nominated for. I think it deserves it. But if it were to lose to something, I'm okay with Baldur's Gate because it has reinvigorated people for RPGs, and it was just like a cool thing to see everybody experiencing it at the same time. And it's not made by like one of these major publishers.
Should we're watching it, we're going to talk about it here in a second, but should Resident Evil 4 be in the conversation for Game of the Year?
No.
I think, yeah, it should have its own category for remakes and remasters, because if that was the case, we probably would have seen Metroid Prime. But see, yeah, there's some
there is a difference between a remake and a remaster.
Sure.
Yeah, but at its core, like I played the Resident Evil remake, it's the same game at its core as it was, back how many years ago now. And it is a fantastic
20 years now, almost.
It is one of the best games of the year, but I don't think like a remake should be included in the talks for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And I thought that they would they usually put an indie in here, and I thought that they would have put Sea of Stars, unless they consider Baldur's Gate an indie. I don't know. Because that's like Larian Studios. I don't know if anybody owns them.
I don't know enough about them. But our nominees for Game of the Year are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Mario Wonder, and I think Tears of the Kingdom is the last one. Yeah, I
think Alan Wake 2 is recency bias.
It is. From what I've heard, though, it does a really good job with what it's presenting. I feel like Spider-Man 2 is just getting the short end. Like I don't think it's going to win almost anything it's nominated for.
I feel like that is the pity nomination in Game of the Year.
Just because of the blockbuster nature of it?
Yeah, just because they need this is one of Sony's 2 games that they released this year. So they have to nominate it for something.
I mean, it's good for gameplay, but story and a lot of stuff, it's a lot of rinse repeat kind of same thing.
I just don't like how every time you come up on a group of little enemies, they do a little cutscene. Like, no, let me just fight these guys. I don't need cutscenes and everything. I don't.
I don't know. I do think that maybe Johnny is right, that best game direction will be Tears of the Kingdom, and then Game of the Year will go to Baldur's Gate. I know some people have said, and I don't necessarily think this is Keeley's fault. This is just kind of the way that video games are being made today. But if you look at that list, it's all sequels, and there's no new IPs. We've talked about that before. Like, it's going to be really hard for a new IP to get into that category. But it does.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder is not a sequel.
I mean,
it's an iteration on a franchise. I mean,
yeah. I would say that's the only one that's not maybe considered a sequel, but even then, people were saying, "Oh yeah, this is the sequel for Super Mario World."
But it's not called Super Mario World 3.
No, 5 or yeah.
I mean, there's not much, like, you can see it in all the categories. Like, the same games get nominated for everything. But I can't think of other games that would be like, I think Sea of Stars for an indie game would have been deserving.
But it's in there for both indie and RPG. So right? It's not an initial indie, maybe?
No, because they did the Messenger.
Oh, okay. That's right.
I know a lot of people are upset that Starfield got snubbed.
No. when you compare it against, like, the only thing it was nominated for was RPG, right? Is that it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what would you sub it out for in game of the year? Maybe Resident Evil
4. I would have rather, so if they were gonna go with like an Xbox property, which I think it's an Xbox property, Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that didn't get nominated. And I feel like that was released so early in the year that like everybody forgot about it.
Yeah, I keep thinking that Alan Wake 2 is like an Xbox property just because of the link that Remedy has had with Xbox in the past with what was the one with the like TV show
Quantum
Break, and Alan Wake 1 was an exclusive.
It was 360. I think it was 360 exclusive.
Yeah, for a
while. Control wasn't.
Yeah,
and Alan Wake 2 isn't.
Yeah,
I do think that is recency bias. I mean, I'm sure it's an okay game. I'm sure it's fine.
Well, and that's probably the biggest detriment to Tears of the Kingdom is that it's like the first big game that came out this year, and it's been since March.
Where is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
No,
shut up.
No.
Where is it? Best ongoing game?
No.
Best art direction?
Best community support?
No Detective Pikachu up there.
Is that even out? Did that come out?
Yeah,
that came out October 6th.
Did you buy that one, Cheesy?
No, I didn't.
I bought it.
Johnny bought it, but you haven't even played it, have you?
I haven't loaded it up. Nope.
I don't know. I'm pretty sad because, like I said, I love the DS game and I've been waiting for it to come on Switch. But with what people have said, I'm like, I think I can pass.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been a weird. Like Nintendo's had like some really strong stuff this year, but then it's also been. I mean, mainly, I guess the Pokemon Company has put out some. They need to figure that out. They don't know how to make games for the Switch.
We need to stop buying their crap.
They're the largest.
The real question is, what song does Super Mario Bros. Wonder use at the orchestra? And I have a choice for this. My pick.
The Piranha on Parade. Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do it.
Is there a main theme? There's got to be a main theme, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Flute Guy is going to go crazy on that song.
Yeah, the acapella stuff.
Yeah. Well, last year we had the recorder guy, right? Or was that 2 years ago for Ghost of Tsushima?
I think you're thinking of
E3.
That weird E3 where it was like The Last of Us and like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Like they all had they went to different areas.
Everybody had to relocate.
No. Like there was a guy that like played like the big recorder, like for like that Japanese sound for Ghost, like at the orchestra.
Oh, that was 2019.
Oh, and then also last year it was for Xenoblade. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was recorder guy. They kept going to the recorder guy.
I know a lot of people were upset that Xenoblade Future Redeemed didn't get nominated for.
I need to buckle down and finish the main campaign in 3 because I do want to play that. And like I went to go click on it, and it's like you'll find out things that you need to know, like that would be good.
Just
if you
give me a
finish
recap. It's fine. I'm good.
But I want to play it because Rex and Shulk are both in that, so it's like I want to get through it. But yeah, I need to go back.
So what's again? What are your game of the years? I'm going Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, but only because I haven't played Baldur's Gate. I haven't played Baldur's Gate, so I don't know. Like, I can't
you're
compare.
Asking personally?
Well, you're personal. Yeah, personal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's got to be Tears of the Kingdom. And I guess that's like where I'm confused with the Game Awards is like Crawler, you were saying that it came out early and it came out in May. So like, yeah, there's been a ton of games that
it was May.
It was May.
That have come out since then. But I also think that we just knew what to expect. And that's a good thing because we wanted more of what we had of Breath of the Wild. And there were some surprises in Tears of the Kingdom, but maybe the reason why it didn't stick around in the conversation that long is because like it's another Breath of the Wild game that we've played.
I feel like it had its time, like a full like probably 2 months that it was in the zeitgeist for a good while. Like I feel like I chewed up and spit out that game. Like that's all I did for however long. I didn't update my Switch for however long too, because
you probably still have a Switch out there that
no. I updated before I went to PAX, but it was
okay. So we're all choosing Tears of the Kingdom. I urge the listeners to vote for Tears of the Kingdom because we can't split the vote. We cannot split the vote. I know Wonder is amazing.
Wonder's good, but it's not Game of the Year.
It's not as good as Tears of the Kingdom.
I also want to say Baldur's Gate. Did that get a 10?
It's the highest rated game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
On Metacritic?
On Metacritic and OpenCritic.
And I mean, I've played 4 of the 6 up for Game of the Year. I mean, I've beaten Spider-Man. I've played a couple hours of Resident Evil. I've beaten Mario Wonder. I've beaten Tears of the Kingdom. So,
I mean, I think it's between those 2 games, Baldur's Gate and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And
it was Tears of the Kingdom's thing to lose going into the year. And then halfway through the year, Baldur's Gate emerged and has impressed a lot of people. And then when you hold that up to Starfield, which it was for a while, especially with NPC interactions and cutscenes and how dead inside Bethesda NPCs seem, and they just stare through you like a Muppet that doesn't know where to look.
I don't know if Jeff Trevino listens to this one, but sorry, Jeff.
And also, like,
you can't argue that they don't look dead inside.
When the NPCs are weird, man.
I just feel like you're giving Muppets a bad name, bad reputation. They're way more active, way more responsive.
True.
Starfield did have like a hill, did have a hill to climb. Like it was touted
it had expectations to live up to.
Game.
Yeah. Go anywhere, do anything, and that was
just fast traveling. That's all it is.
Yeah. And that was just the what 2 or 3 E3 presentations that Todd Howard got up there and kind of told us this stuff. And then they had to delay it from November of last year till, what was it? Did it come out in September?
September, yeah.
Yeah, Labor Day.
They honestly should have delayed it more.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Halo got delayed a year and it still launched not that great. And that it's in a good place. It's in a good place now.
Nobody plays it though.
I've been playing it a lot lately, but
So I don't like this happened with Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. They were nominated at the same time. I wish Wonder came out like now, like tomorrow. Like they would have flipped RPG and Wonder, because then it would maybe been nominated for next year. Because next year's
Nintendo's looking like
probably
a ghost
not
town.
get nominated at all.
We don't know that.
It's not based on what they have.
We didn't know anything after what? After Pikmin at the beginning of this year?
Yeah.
We didn't. Wonder wasn't announced. RPG wasn't announced. What else is? WarioWare. I mean, there's a lot. Not that that stuff is game of the year worthy, but like,
right.
The fact that we
take that back.
The fact that we didn't know about any of that stuff, and it. I'm not opposed to the short hype cycle. I think it helps. And the fact that we don't have anything Nintendo based on the most anticipated, right? We don't have anything Nintendo based,
No,
except for Hades will come out on Switch, but
that's so big now that probably isn't going to be an exclusive.
no, and that's what helped it. I think on Switch was that it was console exclusive.
Right.
Where is?
I'm guessing Princess Peach Showtime will be in the family category for next year.
Yeah, but I'm not. The more and more I see of that, it's like I don't know what to expect out of that game.
But then, okay, so
I know it's not for us.
We're kind of going long here, but for next year in the family category, can you put Thousand Year Door in there? Can you put Luigi's Mansion 2? Like, are those acceptable?
I wouldn't support a port like that. Like,
well, Thousand Year Door is not just
it's just a remaster. It's just a remaster. They're not adding anything.
It looks pretty good compared to the way that it looked.
Graphical upgrade, though.
It's just kind of like Metroid Prime. They're not adding anything. They're just graphical update.
I don't know. I think it just gets iffy.
I don't know. We're gonna have Star Wars Hunters next year. You know,
that's true.
Where's that on this list for most?
That got delayed
to next year. Yeah,
yeah, because they knew they couldn't handle these Game of the Year nominees. But yeah, I don't know. Based on what we've seen from Nintendo so far, there's nothing Game of the Year quality coming out,
or that can get nominated. The only thing would be Showtime.
Xbox. I mean, we're way late right now already. Xbox showed the Series X at Game Awards. Does Nintendo tease something?
Did they?
Yes.
Oh wow!
That's when they unveiled it.
Does Nintendo show anything? I don't think they're going to show a console.
Does Nintendo tease that they have a new console, and then in the next few months after that, do we get the proper Nintendo Direct showcasing them? Because are we getting a new console next year?
Probably not.
You think it's going to be a full another year?
I mean, I would have thought that we would have seen. I thought it was going to be a March release. Like, I don't think they're doing holiday anymore. Because
they could do June though. I wouldn't be opposed to a pre. There's no E3 to build up to anymore. So
was it Kit and Krista that said that like launching a console in the holiday is like really difficult to do?
It's difficult, yeah, because look at the supply chain issues that you want to have console available for people to go into the store and pick up. Yeah. And if you do a holiday launch, you don't have that because the initial buy through sells you out, and then you have to start manufacturing again.
And if we do get a new console and we get a 3D Mario, then yeah, Game of the Year right there.
Because the only thing right now is Final Fantasy's coming out on what, Leap Day on June 20 or February 29th. That's going to be early. That's going to hurt it because early part of the year launch is going to be forgotten about by the end of the year.
What was shown last year for Nintendo? The only thing I can think of is Bayonetta, Cereza and the Lost Demon.
Ever since Reggie has been gone, they haven't really done anything with the Game
Bowser
Awards.
Gets up and reads his PR approved
award
acceptance speech. Yep. All right. Well, we have gone for 70 minutes here. So if you are still with us, thank you for listening. Be sure to give us a review, 5 stars, all that jazz on Spotify or Apple or YouTube or wherever you're listening. hit the like and all that stuff. Johnny, where can people find you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Communication Error podcast.
You guys got a big guest next week, right?
Yeah, we do got a big guest, Stealth 40K.
So if you like RPGs, go listen to this past week's episode, and then stay tuned for next week's. Cheesy, how about you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and the Communication Error podcast, GZC64, CHEEZYC64.
And I am Nightcrawler724, pretty much on everything. TikTok and Twitter are the two best spots. Josh is N64Josh everywhere. Hit up the Discord, talk about the show with us, n64josh.com/discord. And he is N64Josh pretty much everywhere. He will be here next week. He was traveling today, I think. So be sure to tune back in next week, and we'll see you guys then. Take it easy.